Hello everyone and welcome back to the podcast. In today's episode, we are focusing on practical and a highly valuable skill, how to structure a simple report. Whether you are a student, a young professional, or already established in your career, report writing is something you'll encounter regularly. From project updates to research summaries, reports are a key way we communicate information clearly and professionally. The difference between a strong report and a weak one often comes down to structure and clarity. So today we'll walk through three key things. One of them is understanding the purpose of a report, and then we'll look at the basic structure you can follow every time you're doing a report. And then we can look at a few simple tips on how to make your writing clear and effective. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a report? A report is a structured document designed to communicate information clearly and objectively. Its main purpose is to inform, to explain, or sometimes even to recommend actions based on evidence. One important thing to understand is that a report is not an essay. Unlike essays, which can be more argumentative or expressive, reports are factual and they are concise and they should be organized. They focus on presenting information in a way that is easy to follow and useful to the reader. You'll encounter reports in many contexts. In the workplace, such as project updates or performance reports. You'll encounter reports in the space of academia, think research assignments, or even in everyday professional communication. We are often doing reports in the course of our work. Understanding the purpose of your report helps you decide what to include and, just as importantly, what to leave out. Now let's break down the standard structure of a simple report. First, we have the title page. Now the title page includes the title of the report, your name or the name of the company, and the date. This should be clear and straightforward. No need for anything overly complex. It's the title page. Next, we have the introduction. This section sets the stage. It should briefly explain the purpose of the report, what the report will cover. Think of it as guiding the reader into what to expect in the report. Then we have the main body, and this is the core of your report. The key here is organization. Break your content into sections with clear headings. Each section should focus on one specific aspect of the topic. For example, if you're writing a project report, your sections might include the background of the project, the methodology or the actions taken, the findings probably from the project. Using headings makes it easier for the reader to follow your ideas and quickly find information in your report. After that, we have the conclusion, and this is where you summarize the key points or findings of your report. Keep it brief and focused. If appropriate, you can also include recommendations, what should be done next based on the findings of the report. Finally, references or appendices. If you've used sources or have supporting material, you can include them there. This adds credibility and allows readers to explore further if needed. Overall, what ties these sections together is a logical flow. Each part should connect naturally to the next, making the report easy to read and to understand. Now that we have covered structure, let's talk about how to write clearly. First, use simple and direct language. You don't need complicated words to sound professional. Clarity is more important than complexity. Secondly, avoid jargon unless it's necessary. If you must use technical terms, probably because of the nature of the report or the sector within which you are, then make sure that they are appropriate for your audience. Third, keep your paragraphs short and focused. Ideally, each paragraph should communicate one main idea. and then that will allow for the reader to have a structure, to see a structured flow of the thought process. Then you can use bullet points or numbered lists where it's helpful. This improves readability, especially when presenting multiple points. And finally, always proofread. Check for grammar, spelling, or formatting consistency. A well-formatted report reflects attention to detail and professionalism. Before we wrap up, here are a few mistakes to watch out for when you're preparing reports. One of them is including too much unnecessary detail that distracts from the main message. Secondly, having poor structure and unclear headings. This makes it very difficult to follow through your report, and ultimately could lead to the reader not clearly getting what the objective of the report was. Then we have mixing personal opinions with factual information without clarity. You know, for example, where you have, and this is often when we have sometimes an unconscious bias, so that you assume things are a certain way, or your general understanding is that this matter is as you think. For example, your general understanding is that the employees in your company, in your business, are satisfied. And so when you are doing a report, you want to make sure that all the claims that you make are actually grounded on data, are grounded on factual information, so that then it has credibility and there is clarity on context. And then we have not tailoring the report to the intended audience. This would show up in issues like the use of overly technical language, so that the people, the recipients, or the persons, the audience, the intended audience of your report cannot clearly understand what you mean. Remember that the point of communication is to be understood, not just to speak or to pass out information. Avoiding these mistakes can significantly improve the quality of your report. So, to recap, writing a strong report comes down to 3 key things, and one of them is understanding the purpose of your report and following a clear structure, and number 3, communicating with clarity. A great way to improve is always practice. So try drafting a short report on a topic you're familiar with and apply these principles. Apply the principle of understanding the purpose of your report first, then structure your report clearly and well, and ensure that you're communicating with clarity, keeping in mind your audience, the people who are going to be beneficiaries of your report, and the objective of your report. Remember that a well-structured report doesn't just inform, it actually builds credibility on you as a person or as a business, and credibility into whatever point or objective it was that your report was speaking to. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more practical tips on professional communication. My name is Julia Irongo, and this is brought to you by JPENT Company Limited, a management consulting practice that's based in Nairobi, Kenya. Until next time.